everyone, welcome to an analysis of dance, where we discuss the movements and debuts of the Billboard Hot Dance Charts in immaculate detail, with in-depth reviews of each debut each week. Well, I did call some of the big stories last week, right? I'll be honest, even despite the fact that I was hoping Jamie would have some potential to impact here, it was very muted, and with Ava Max being the biggest debut this week and some of these other ones, yeah, it wasn't the best week, let's just say that. But anyways, onto our top 10, where Miles on It by Marshmello and Kane Brown is at number 1, but more than ever I see this being in actual trouble falling off, considering the Brat Remixes album is coming, and there's an Ariana Grande remix coming, so yeah, this won't last at the top for a while, but I do expect it to rebound once that album fades back a little bit. Honestly, the fact it's still number 1 is disappointing. But on that note, 360 by Charli XCX is at number 2, where the radio is surging on this one in record time, but unfortunately streaming looks like it's done with it in favor of some of the other songs, so I don't expect this to hit number 1 anytime soon, but it is holding steady. That's at least something, I guess. Something I can't say for Guess by Charli XCX featuring Billie Eilish at number 3, where it's losing across the board, and given that radio is not touching this and streaming starting to fall back, yeah, this might be on its way out, but it is going to get a boost with the remix album at least, so I'll take it. But where this momentum could help with the remix album is Apple by Charli XCX at number 4, considering it's the only song out of these 3 that doesn't have an official remix yet, and given it's got no real streaming at the moment, it could really do to have one. I wouldn't be surprised if this rebounds hard when that album comes out. But then our next 2 songs really only got here because of streaming, that was only keeping them up because of losses above them, with Houdini by Dua Lipa at number 5, where I don't really see this getting knocked off. Considering the remix album, I don't expect to have a ton of impact on the Hot 100. This might last to a full year, but hey, I'm not complaining at least. More importantly, Keep Up by AAoD is up to number 6, where streaming is fucking huge on this one. And look, it's about to hit the Hot 100 soon, it was only a matter of time, and honestly it's grown on me a little bit, so I can't really complain there, but it's still unfortunate. I mean, there's better songs in the top 10, or even by AAoD this year than this. But of course, the main reason why both of these came was because of the big losses for Talk Talk by Charli XCX featuring Troye Sivan down to number 7, where it's losing hard on sales and streaming was never on board in the biggest way. I don't expect this to last much longer. Honestly, even with the remix album, I don't see this jumping that much. But for now, it's still above I Don't Wanna Wait by David Guetta and One Republic at number 8, and really, this is one of the ones that I expect to be knocked off thanks to the remix album soon, considering it's getting close to 26 weeks, and honestly, the fact that it lasted this long in the top 10 is kind of disappointing. It's not very good. Hell, and on that note, we had Illusion by Dua Lipa still at number 9. Again, same amount of weeks as I Don't Wanna Wait. This is in serious danger of getting knocked out of the top 10 pretty easily. Honestly, the fact it's still here is kind of mind-blowing, considering it doesn't have anything going for it at this point. And finally, we end with one more Charli XCX song with 365 at number 10. Honestly, the remix that I'm seeing for this one that's being leaked is wild, but we'll get to that when it comes out. Honestly, I expect this to rebound soon, no complaints there. But anyways, on to our falls and fall-offs, where the real big stories were Tekka by DJ Snake and Peso Pluma likely clenching the year-end list spot for 2024, just wonderful. As well as My Oh My by Ava Max, right off the gains last week. I mean, it's gonna make the year-end list, but seriously, the rollout for this album has been weird. Have people really been checking for the new single over this? This gained last week and up to 32. What happened here? But anyways, moving on from that bizarre drop-off, the rest of our falls were not all that surprising for me. Really, outside of Places to Be by Fred again, Anderson .Paak and Chica falling back down yet again to 29, the rest of these were kind of underperforming in a weird way. I mean, you had You Sexua by FK Twigs plummeting to 39, as well as Break My Love by Rufus to solid 50. These were not going to stick around that long. Honestly, the fact that both are still here is kind of insane to me. But where things get more interesting coming out last 2 falls, starting off with Love Potions by BJ Lips featuring Princess Paparazzi back down to 38. Seems like the momentum's finally done with this one. I can't complain. I'm not gonna complain at all about this getting caught between years. But what's more telling, Sideways by Gordo and Drake at 45. This is plummeting at a record pace, and considering it was one of his big singles after his big loss to Kendrick Lamar, the fact that it won't even last 10 weeks on the Hot Dance Charts despite debuting in the Bubbling Under, that's kind of telling that no one seems to like this. I don't complain about that. But where things get particularly odd came in our jumps and comebacks, especially the latter one, because all of these are likely here thanks to remix boosts, and honestly I have no idea why some of these are back. Yes, I'm not complaining that Tears by John Summer featuring Paige Cavell is back at 33. 30. That's a lot higher than I expected, and given it's seeming to get some push to dance airplay, this might stick around. It's getting pushed as a single, I can't complain there. But seriously, why the hell is To The Moon by Pitbull, Neo, and Afrojack featuring DJ Buddha back in 44? Are people seriously looking for remixes of this song that's been radio carried its entire run? Really? But what's more revealing is the return of Neverender by Justice and Tame Impala 43, thanks to a bit of alt airplay and the Kate Trinard remix that was released midweek, so I expect this to jump up even further next week. No complaints there, it's a great song and I'm really happy it's making the year-end list. But it's also telling that we had the exact same amounts of jumps as comebacks this week, and all of these were really odd, being rebounds that I did not expect at all. I mean, yes, there was Never Going Home Tonight by Debbie Guetta and Alesso featuring Madison Love up to 26. This might be a hit even if it might get caught between years, but hey, I can't complain, it's a good song. But what's also telling is that the other two are also great songs that I had no expectations would rebound as much as they did. With Girls by Dom Dollar at 36, it seems to be getting a weird rebound on sales for some reason. I mean, I'm not complaining, but still, it's odd. And most bizarrely, H plus 3 plus Poison 7 LUC JLo OT6 by Vival is actually up to 42. Seriously, where was this momentum before? It was gone months ago. But man, where these show promises, a lot of our debuts, they really didn't. Starting off, unfortunately, with number 48, Roy by Mckyyy. Okay, I'm gonna get this out of the way right now and really fast too, because the less I give attention to this crap, the better. And seriously, I thought we were past the point of allowing bootlegs of old songs to chart, but here we have another blatant example of this. This is a cut down, TikTokified instrumental bootleg of the track Roy by Video Club, a really sweet little French synthwave track with some really nice vocals playing off a really pretty instrumental. So obviously the main thing you want to do is remove the vocals entirely, cut the track down to only 83 seconds, and make the mixing even worse to the point where this TikTokified snippet is somehow charting over the original. And seriously, this is blatant stealing, and really, this is at the point now where I'm not going to give any of these songs any more attention from here on out. This guy's profile also comprises of some really shady releases, and even if it is cool that this song is getting some attention thanks to this remix, I'm also not expecting anything from here to actually stick around at all. And really, while its underlying composition is not bad, you're building on an original song that you blatantly stole from, I don't think I have any reason to come back to this, let alone support this shady crap. Fuck this guy, this is not worth my time, skip it. Number 40, Void by ISQ. And on the topic of things I was dreading, okay, I knew that this was coming thanks to the TikTok charts. This debuted pretty damn high there, especially with the slowed versions. But seriously, ISQ was on an absolutely awful song with Fucked Up with Xanteria, one of the worst hits of the year, and I'll be talking about it at the end of the year here. But otherwise, I had no expectations for this, so I wasn't looking forward to it. And okay, this is actually alright. I mean, the Crush Funk production has more bounce. There's some actual genuine low-end groove that's more welcome here, and even the slowdown at the end, it does hit a lot harder than most of the other songs in this style. I can't complain there. Problem is, this production has a really annoying lead backing everything up. It's a shame too, because I get the appeal of this. It's very dark, very brooding, and the atmosphere is great, but that lead is so buzzy and annoying. On certain listens, it could give me legitimate headaches, and really, for this particular track, while I get why it's here, it does not work for the vibe for me whatsoever. And combine that with the runtime that's only 77 seconds, for God's sake. This is even shorter than the previous track. Seriously, this feels underdeveloped as all hell, and given that ISQ's production style really translated over from Funked Up, it honestly makes sense that he's the reason that song didn't really work for me. But honestly, this isn't as bad as that one. I'll give it that at least. I mean, I don't see myself coming back to it, and it's a blatant TikTok bait song, but really, there's a lot worse I could have charted. This is okay at best. Number 34, Forever by HUGEL and Diplo featuring Malou and Yuna. This is HUGEL's 4th charting song this year. That's just wild to me. I mean, I expected that this would happen considering HUGEL's gone down the path of Afro House and some really smooth production. Honestly, his material has gotten a lot better this year, but still, I can't get over the fact that the What the Fuck guy is actually having a genuine revival in 2024. If the music wasn't as good as it was, I'd be a lot more annoyed about it. But anyways, here's a collaboration with Diplo that leans a lot more on the Afro House sound that both artists have been doing pretty damn well as of recently, sampling the Yuna track Lullabies from 2014 and remixing it into this track. And honestly, I get the appeal of this quite a bit too. I actually really like this one. I mean, it's got more of that shuffling groove you'd expect from Afro House, playing up against Diplo's desire to really expand this mix out with some gorgeous synths and a great atmosphere that honestly characterizes a lot of his self-titled albums, so I'm not exactly surprised it worked out well here. And both Malou and the sampled vocals of Yuna honestly sound really damn pretty on this song, even if honestly I can barely tell either of them apart. They're not the most distinctive singers in the world, but honestly for a track like this I kind of get why they're both here. They both fit into the vibe quite well. I mean, yes, it's pretty short. This could have been a lot longer than under 2.5 minutes, but for what it's worth, this is a sharply produced track. I really like it. It goes in and out. There's nothing to really complain about here. I mean, it's very damn close to great. Honestly, it's gonna get there at this point with how much is growing on me, but for now, really damn good. I just wish it went a bit longer, that's all. Number 24, Waited All Night by Jamie XX, Romy and Oliver Sim. Honestly, I'm not remotely surprised this was a track that blew up off of In Waves' album Impact. I mean, it's been 7 years since the XX actually released music on their own, so this is basically a reunion after a long-ass wait with both Oliver Sim and Romy on vocals here, and really, I'm just happy that they're all working together. It feels like it's been way too long since I See You came out, and I love that album. So yeah, I had high hopes for this, and of course, this absolutely delivered. This is a fucking great song. The blender of deeper garage elements against the distinct wubs and some really gorgeous atmosphere that really builds up for the hook as the energy really piles up. That hook is ridiculously catchy and really does work well off this instrumental, especially when you balance it out against that chopped piano sample that booklines the entire track and sounds really damn pretty as well. But honestly, that really works well against Romy and Oliver Sim, who both have the sort of understated charisma that is absolutely infectious as all hell, and I'm just glad they're singing together again. I mean, Romy can of course carry this. She's one of the best vocalists at the moment, and honestly this shows her range effortlessly. But I've got to give credit to Oliver Sim, who's really been stepping up in terms of his vocals recently. He has a lot more energy and his lower range sounds really damn good here. It seems like he's way more invested in this reunion than I think anyone expected, and honestly, if this is the direction that the XX need to go and release more music as a group again, I'm honestly really on board for it. I'm really excited to see where they go. I mean, it's not my favorite song on the album when Life, Batty on the Floor and Daffodil exist, but man, it is really close to those ones. It is up there as one of the best songs on the entire album for me. So yeah, fucking amazing song. It's really stuck with me in recent weeks. I can see this only getting better with time, and honestly, even if I don't expect this to stick around, considering Jamie XX's run in terms of charting songs has not been all that great, honestly, I hope it's actually able to stick around. It's genuinely great. And finally, number 19, Spot a Fake by Ava Max.
Girl that you date, she's playing with your heart till it breaks.
But sadly, instead of Jamie XX being the higher debut, we're ending off with this. And seriously, what the hell is this rollout for that new Ava Max album? It's just feeling completely mismanaged. I mean, seriously, My Mi's not even being considered for the album at all. What's going on here? But anyways, this song, okay, it doesn't work for me either, and man, I'm really disappointed by it. And seriously, I shouldn't be saying that considering Ava Max has always been mixed at best for me, but considering some of the best songs on Diamonds and Dance Floors, this just feels really weak. I mean, it's fine, it's okay I guess. I like the production where it's going for more of an 80s pop sound with the faster tempo and those distant pianos. That creates a much more driving vibe that honestly works a lot better for Ava Max than most of her slower songs. But the thing is, this production has some setbacks as well. I mean, seriously, the bass is so weak here, and the entire track has this really cluttered sound to it that just doesn't work for me at all. Not helped by all the vocal effects on Ava Max that do not work for me whatsoever and make her sound way too artificial for this track. But the worst part has got to be the lyrics lyrics for this track, where she's trying to go for this sort of spotting of fakeness within some guy's partner, where you can easily tell that she's playing the I'm better than her card here, and it comes off incredibly petty and insufferably smug, especially when you compare it to the real life reference of Madison Love in the last parts of the song. Yeah, no, I'm not on board with this. It's petty and gross. I mean, it's okay on the back of the production, but I don't really see myself coming back to it, and honestly, I don't really see it sticking around that much either. It's going really close to being caught between years, and I can't complain there. But it's not the worst here. That's going to Roy by Mckyyy. I don't support blatant plagiarism, and this song wasn't even particularly good in revamping the original track. It made it undeveloped and utterly worthless, so yeah, no good things to say there at all for this one. Best of the week is also very easy, being Waited All Night by Jamie XX, Romy, and Oliver Sim. It's nice to see these three back. Let's hope this is the sign of more things to come for them. Next week, there's gonna be that Kygo and Imagine Dragon song that I'm fairly sure nobody asked for, so that's gonna be fun to deal with. But anyways, that's all for this episode of an analysis of dance. See you next time.